As many of you already know, I'm Alana, or at least I'm the closest cartoon to looking like Alana. But before I talk about my inquiry, let's just sit back and imagine that we finally made it. We're teachers, and we've got an amazing group of students, like this one. His name's Corey. And I'm sure you've already met this little lady. Her name's Zelda. Corey doesn't know it yet, but he's going to have the biggest crush on her. Oh, and we can't forget Devin. He's Corey's best friend. So from an outsider's point of view, and judging from his double fist pumps, Corey seems to have it all. But what we don't know about is the fight that happened between his parents last night. Corey heard it all. But what he can't erase from his mind is hearing the word divorce. That's right, D-I-V-O-R-C-E. Divorce. Which I guess brings me to my inquiry question. How can teacher-student relationships foster resiliency for students of divorced parents? But why this question? So that's when I really got to thinking about my life and my journey in becoming a teacher. Why was the subject of resiliency so important to me, and what does it have to do with being a teacher? Then I thought about my world when I was a kid, growing up, and how extremely messy it was. I guess that's where I'll start. Welcome to my messy life of having divorced parents. So what I learned at a young age was that there was no stability in my home. One day everything was good, and the next it'd all come crashing down again. And what was really hard for me to accept was that I had no control over my parents' situation. It wasn't ever up to me. There was no pause button or option to rewind. I just had to let it be. But what I did have control over was myself and my life as an individual. I realized that I had control over other things, one of them being my education. So this is where school came into play. At school, I felt safe. At school, I built resilience. And at school, I found my magical place of escape. So now you're probably thinking, great, but what does this have to do with me as a teacher? Well, as teachers, we need to consider that there are different family structures now. According to Statistics Canada, there have been 70,226 divorces in just 1 year. With high numbers like that, you're bound to have students with divorced parents. And yes, divorce is hard on everyone, especially on the parents. But what about students like Corey, who are also experiencing the divorce? I remember feeling alone, feeling confused, embarrassed, because now my family was known as broken and chaotic. I remember feeling hate, self-blame, and I remember feeling tired, emotionally and physically. Divorce isn't just something that happens overnight. It's a long process that affects our students' well-being, going from this to this. And according to the Middle Years Development Instrument, a child's overall health and well-being affects their ability to concentrate and learn, develop and maintain friendships, and make thoughtful decisions. So then what do we as teachers need to look out for? Well, here are just a few symptoms listed in the MDI. Not wanting to separate from parents, being tired all the time, avoiding social interactions like recess and lunch, and excessively worrying about things. Now, some of you are probably thinking, but what can I do to help? Well, let me tell you. You gotta be like this guy. No, I don't mean be like Superman. You gotta be like that one teacher. You know, like the one Michael Sadowski was talking about. He said, finding one trustworthy adult at school can help turn things around for children who are at risk. Students are looking for someone to listen. Not just someone who is pretending to be interested in their lives, but someone who will genuinely listen. Because according to Rita Pearson, every child deserves a champion. An adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists they become the best they can possibly be. So what does this mean for us as educators? Well, it means that teaching isn't just about assessment and teaching kids how to divide by 2. Teaching is about listening. It's about giving your time. Teaching is about the little things. And what teaching really is about? Teaching is caring.